Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my living room. You may have noticed I've not posted in the past few weeks, and that is because I was in Japan. I have been in Japan for about 2.5 weeks, and whilst I was there, I knew that I wanted to visit an art supply store. Obviously, relief printing, specifically woodcuts, is, I think, really synonymous with Japan. So, of course, I knew that I would be in the right place to find some relief printing goodies, but also just who doesn't like going to an art supply shop? Who doesn't like to see what else is available? And I really outdid myself. So I went to a shop called Sekaido, which is in Shinjuku, and it is 5-6 stories tall. I think one story is for framing. And as you can see, I kind of went ham. They reinforced the handle. I don't know if you're able to see what is going on here. And I wanted to let you know that I spent £90 sterling in Sekaido, and you're going to see the amount of stuff that I got was crazy. I do also have a few little bits from the printing museum and Daiso as well, but mainly the bulk of the stuff is from Sekaido. I spent, I don't know, a couple of hours in there and would highly recommend. I did do a teeny tiny bit of filming whilst I was there. I really was in two minds whether I wanted to like film the whole trip, but you know, if you're there for 2.5 weeks, that's like a lot of filming. You know, obviously I want to kind of like have that for me as well. But I did film whilst I was at the Tokyo Printing Museum, which was great. I must admit, I was kind of like filming on the slide because I didn't have permission to film in there. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video of me like talking through the exhibition and what I thought and what I took from it. And that'll probably be my next video. But for now, without further ado, like the poor woman, she also put like bubble wrap around the handle because she knew it was going to hurt. And it did hurt to carry it. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. And then bless her, she also put like a bunch of stuff in these cute little bags. Honestly, the customer service, I loved it. What I will say is, spoiler alert, I did get some cutting tools, and she was like, left-handed? And I'm like, no. And I, unbeknownst to myself, picked up the left-handed ones, and she was like, let me go change these for you. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, so first things first, this is in no order. I'm just gonna pull stuff out and share. Honestly, I had such a wild time. It was amazing. So first of all, I have got this funky brush, and I must admit, again, it wasn't that expensive. As I said, you'll see and be blown away with the fact that I only spent 90 quid in there. Truly, so I've got this fun little brush here, which I must admit, clearly this brush shape must have some sort of purpose. I think actually might be like maybe for, although like a lot of ink brushes are a lot more pointy, I don't know. It is really, really soft as well. Oh my God, I just thought it probably is fucking animal hair. Ooh. Okay, well, okay. Did not think of that at the time whilst I was in my shopping frenzy. Anyway, okay, what's done is done. What's done is done, is Alice. Oh, that's no. Sorry, I just noticed like the colour variation in the bristles, and I was like, oh, this is so soft. And I was like, oh, this is probably from a poor animal because this really was not that expensive. Anyway, the reason why I got this was because I've been watching loads of like reels and stuff of obviously other people and other artists doing either woodcuts or relief printing in general, lino cuts, and like I saw people like brush off the bits, and I must admit I usually just like tap it off and I'm done with it. But specifically with lino and the lino I usually use, there can be like, I usually use the like traditional like linoleum stuff. It can be like quite bitty, particularly in the winter. Oh my God. I've seen some people like put it like in the oven for like 30 seconds, like really like not that long, to kind of like warm it up a little bit. I have not personally tried that though, so don't try at your own risk. And I thought, oh, when I touched this brush, I was like, oh, this would be actually like fantastic to get all the little bits out, and it really was not that expensive. So, cute little brush. Again, I actually feel really terrible. That was probably animal hair. Anyway, didn't think about that at the time. So next up, I have some hashi paper. Oh, it has bent a little bit. It has bent a little bit. Oh, that's annoying. I was hoping that it would survive, but it has got a bit of a bump in it. But yeah, so this is some like traditional hashi paper, which would also be great for screen printing. Not screen printing, that's a bare face lie. Lino cuts. I really like the texture of it. I like that it's like a little bit off-white. I prefer a more off-white base rather than like a stark white. So I thought that this could be really cool. I wasn't like necessarily planning on getting paper, again, because it's like a bit of a risk to travel with, but again, like it was so reasonably priced. It was so reasonably priced. Look at this. So this is all Japanese lino. So whilst I was there, and again in the shop, they were having like a load of stuff was 20% off. So this size lino, this is usually priced at 100 yen, but it was actually 110 yen. But it was on sale for 88 yen, which I have just looked up how much that is. I knew it was cheap. 46p. 46p for a lot. So anyway, needless to say, and like obviously the further you went up, the higher in price it went. But so I got 4 of these. This crazy. What's funny is I actually have quite a lot of lino. Whenever I get a hobbycraft code and I don't necessarily have something specific to buy, I always buy lino because I know I'll use it, and they sell just like the SD traditional, which is what I usually use, and it's like dirt cheap. So yeah, so this is like double the price. So this would be 94p each. These like A5, crazy town. So I got 3 of those, and then I got 3 A4 ones, which again was double again. So I am absolutely stacked. I must admit, I have used Japanese lino before. In fact, do I have any on this table? I don't know, it might be in the other room, but it's not the coloured one. So as you can see, it's obviously got like 2 different colours. I've used just the plain grey before and I have liked it. So, but this was just so cheap. I must admit, when I was first in there, I could only see sort of what they were calling like a razor lino, which was like a lot thicker, and it was more expensive, but I think it's also more, you could tell by that brand, their audience was like more children and people starting getting into it rather than professional. But then I literally like, I was like looking at all that, and then I literally like turned to the left and I was like, oh no, this is where it's at. Oh my God, I have so much printing that I need to do. And again, I'll talk about it, I guess, in my other video where, sorry guys, I'm putting it back in because I'm also going to film a reel and lie on the reel. I opened it here. Really. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, talking about inspiration and stuff. Like, I definitely will talk about it in the printing museum vlog video. Obviously, I'm like really super conscious of just being like, oh, I'm a white woman that's gone to Asia for 2 weeks. Woo. But like, that's not why. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm really like conscious of that, and that's not necessarily what I'm getting at. Am I making sense? I'm making sense to me. I've actually got a few loose things in here as well. I got some acrylic gouache. This is obviously moving away a little bit from printmaking, but there were a few art materials that I got just because I don't have them. I think it could be fun to like play with more traditional painting, but I don't have any other than like dirt cheap standard acrylics. So I wanted to get something a little bit more nice. They do the professional ones as well, which were also a really good price. But this is just what they called their school set. So it's really just like your classic colours. Ta-da! So we've got titanium white, jet black, all the colours of the rainbow. I just thought could be like a little bit of fun to, I really want to get like a wet media sketchbook and just kind of play about, really like just for me, because I think, I don't know, I've mentioned this before on my channel, when you start selling your work through your chosen medium, it can kind of feel like you look at it differently, even though like I love relief printing, like clearly I love relief printing, and I'm happy that I have made that decision. I think it is still nice to have like a creative outlet that's like just for you. In part, I was trying to put the band back on. In part, I feel like that's why I'm looking at ceramics, but to be honest, I think I will end up making and selling those as well down the line. Also, in a very similar vein, I got a pack of watercolours. I think somewhere at my parents' house, I have like a solid watercolour, like Winsor and Newton case. I can like picture it so vividly. And I actually looked at one of those the other day, like, oh, I'll just get a new one, but they're like expensive. So I was like, I can dig that out for my parents' house. But until then, I got these, again, very similar, just basic pack of, they are really nice colours, the vermilion, look at it. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I am so jet lagged. I got back on Sunday and today is Friday, but I've also been working really early as well in my day job, so I'm just like, anyway, I got a pack of these because I thought also, again, similarly, if I had like a wet media sketchbook, that could be really just like fun. And lastly, I guess going back to a bit more printmaking, my traditional medium, I got a pack of the Sakura printing colours, the water-based ones. So again, just went for a classic selection. They did have single ones, and you will see that I got one of those as well. But these I thought could be really fun. And I think because I got that like small lino as well, I don't know, I had visions of doing like, shut up, look at those. Look at these little babies. Yeah, I was just thinking about doing like some small little prints and trying out these colours really. I've not used this brand before, and like obviously they are only tiny little tubes. I just wanted, again, to try a little fun thing out. So they've got a gold here as well. So you have like your traditional colours, that you're basically your primary colours, green, a dark brown, and a black, and a gold. So yeah, those were kind of like my, I don't know, colours. But as I said, mainly I was looking to like just get something that was, yeah, a little different. And again, I know I cannot stress this enough. Everything was so fucking cheap. What I have already shown you, there's still plenty more to come. There is still plenty more to come in this bag of tricks. What I have already shown you, I think that I only spent 90 quid. Crazy town. Here they are. Here's, woohoo! Those power grip tools that I mentioned. And they come in this fun little tin. Nah, shut. That was so cool. Sorry, let me do that again for you. So we got our tools. It says like push on here. You push. Get out of town. Get out of town. I was wanting to invest in some file, as in like PFIEL tools, but then I saw these and I thought I'd give them a go. Obviously these are predominantly meant for woodcuts, but I still think it can be very much transferred over to lino as well, because like for example, like I have some of these. So we've got like these are, I'm just showing knives. This is like a straight chisel, and this one's like more of like a pointed angled chisel, which you might think might not be necessarily as usable, because like these ones, I think it's 2 U gauges and a V gauge. So you might think, oh, they wouldn't be necessarily as useful, because you could also get these singularly, which you might see in a sec. But I thought that actually, first of all, like if you ever just want to take like a whole chunk out, you could do that. Or I was thinking like if you wanted like cross hatch, I think like these are sharp as hell. So I thought that's what I was like, oh, actually, I think these still could be useful. And that's why, because I had it. My guys, they have thought of everything. So like it's flat like this, but then when you put it like that, you can pull them out easy. Get out of town. Get out of town. This is so, so cute. Got 2 more of these fun bags to go through. Let's look at this one. What is in this one, actually? Oh, yes. Speaking of, we've got, it's an even smaller V gauge. This is at 1.5 millimeters, so it's super duper small. I do have like a dot tool already, but I just thought, again, for like super small details, that could be really handy. Also got just a classic Posca black pen. These were on sale there and are also already mega, mega cheap. I find Poscas are going up so, so much in price. I did see in Casa Arts, I don't know, within the last 3 months, that they had them for like 50% off. Part of me honestly thinks the reason why Posca pens are so expensive in the UK is people always steal them. So this was like already like, I think £3 and then had 20% off. So I just bought, I honestly thought like I could get a few more, but I don't really know what I would necessarily use them for. But I was just like, actually I think a fun little Posca would be nice, because also I did buy some Dharmas and I've not done the eyes yet. So I thought I could do them with this as well. By the way, my house is like an absolute tip. It's a clothes explosion. I think I've done like 5 loads of washing and I still have loads more to do. I also got myself a tiny baby squeegee. I know I haven't done any screen printing in ages, and I have a few ideas. Again, you're going to see what I've bought as well. But this was just like a perfect little itty bitty one. Admittedly, it is one of the more expensive things I got. This was 2,516 yen. Again, I think this is 20% off as well. So, but they all felt like really, really nice quality. And this was like a nice small one, which I really like the size of that one, because I've got some bigger ones. here is the other Sakura printing colour that I got. So this is kind of like a silvery colour, like a silvery iridescent. Just looked really, really nice. I'm a silver girly over a gold girly. So if I was getting the gold in the fun little pack, I had to get the silver as well. What else do we have in here? So the bottom floor is more like traditional stationery. You can also get lots of cards, calendars, like the time of year that I went, and like trinkets and stuff. I did get a bonsai master patch. Now, I have to be honest with you, this is more what I want to be rather than what I am. I think I'm going to ask for a bonsai tree from my brother for Christmas, because there's a shop not a million miles away from us that sells them for like 40, 50 quid, which is still like obviously an investment, but like I think I'm there with my plantness. I want to get like some fun little the little shears, and I just thought so cute. I did also get just like would you say this is a kidney? I don't know. Like a scraper, again, just really like the size of it. I've got some yellow ones, which again, like they're not expensive, you could definitely get them, but like I was honestly like, well, everything's so cheap. Yeah, again, this is like 40p, so you know, one must. I did actually also buy a piece of wood for wood cuts. I've never actually done one before. So this again was supposed to be 110 yen, sorry, but with 20% off. I've never done a wood cut. Obviously, I've done a lot of relief printing in my time, but this is just something I've never done. So I thought, well, whilst I'm at it, I would give it a go, because I've also now got the actual tools for it. So anyway, yeah, I decided to get like a little bit of wood there because, again, it was really reasonably priced. And then last for this little bag, I did get some postcard size paper. So what's interesting, on the back, they've got these like weird little window things. I don't know if that's just to help you with the actual postcard bit, but I thought they had like a little like ring binder sample of paper. And I thought this was really, really nice. But I did just want to double check it was just the one. Yeah, so I think they have this so you can like put the stamps and stuff on. So you can like draw where it is. But paper itself is 190 GSM, off-white. It has like a little bit of texture to it. I told you that I got a lot. Actually, whilst we're here, I did also pick up some mesh, some screen mesh. So this is... It says 120 on the front, but I don't know if it is that. Basically, again, I've got some ideas bubbling around in my mind, and I wanted to get just some loose, like non-framed screen printing mesh, and they had it there. And whilst I was there, you know, I thought this was 1,327 yen, so less than a tenner. It is quite big. I just thought it's one of those things, like I actually don't know where I would necessarily be able to find that in Bristol. I'm sure I probably could, but it'd probably have to be a very specialist shop, and I doubt it would be at the price point that I got it. Also in that same vein, last but not least, I'm so excited, I got not one, not two, not three, but 4 itty bitty screens. These are teeny tiny, and they are 100. Ta-da! I just thought there are so many things that I would like love to do. What's so funny is I definitely think this is the same wood that they use for their woodcut blocks. In fact, I'm certain it is. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to get these screens, so I have some A4 ones like just under A4. I have a couple A3, and then I have actually a bunch in my attic, which are like huge and like probably just need new mesh, to be honest. But that's a task, quite frankly, when I no longer live in this flat or have studio space, because they're massive and cumbersome, and I already take up a lot of space with art materials anyway, as I'm sure you can tell by this video. I wanted some itty bitty ones because I just feel like I don't know if I've said this on this channel before, but essentially for the longest time little backstory on me. After I graduated, I had a 2-year artist residency, and in that, obviously, that came, well, maybe not obviously, it did come with desk space and storage space. So I had a really big like A2 screen, and had a big cardboard box exposure unit to go with it, and that all stayed there, which was great. But obviously when that came to an end, I had to move it all home, and I then didn't screen print for the best part of a year, I would say, and it's something that I love. So then I made the decision to get like a smaller screen, because actually then I would use it. And that's kind of the similar mentality with this. Like, whilst I do have the capability to do that here with the smaller stuff, I felt like just literally having some smaller ones. And I was also thinking about doing a CMYK print as well. I just find as well the variables, when they're smaller, there are less, essentially. When your print is sort of bigger, for the home setup that I have, I find with photosensitive emulsion, it can be... Basically, because if you're like thinking about the distance of the light and stuff, is this boring? I find it really hard to get that right. Whereas with smaller screens, because you can make the distance a lot smaller, it works out better for my setup. So that was everything from Sekaido. As you can see, 90 quid, £90 I spent on that. Craziness, isn't it? But I do have a few other little bits that I wanted to share with you from both Daiso and the Printing Museum. So annoyingly, I did get in Daiso, which, by the way, in the Harajuku Daiso, which was the first Daiso I went into, was so funny. My boyfriend was like, oh, I kind of need... He had like vaguely new shoes that he was wearing, and he was just like, I really feel like I need to get some insoles. So there's this place called Daiso, and then ping! I'm like, oh yeah, is there? Fully aware what Daiso is. He's like, oh, there's this place called Daiso that's not that far away from here, and it seems like they're going to sell insoles, and can we go there? And I'm like, okay, babe, if we must. And it just so happened to be the Harajuku Daiso. It did make me laugh. Is like, he like looked down this road, he's like, that road's really busy, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, babe, that's Harajuku. That's Harajuku, of course it's fucking busy. Anyway, so I was like, let's do it. Like, the thing is like, when you come out like by Harajuku Station, it's like really, really busy. Like, basically, there's also like literally like people like stood with like to interview for like TikTok and shit. And I'm like, no, let's not. But like when you're actually walking down Harajuku, it's fine. Anyway, so we go to the Daiso, and it's like 2-3 floors. In the Harajuku Daiso, they have woodcut tools. I didn't see it in any other Daiso. I didn't get it. Oh, I hope everybody's okay. There's a police car going past. And I can also hear something else. I think it's a car chase. I think. Because there was like a white, unless it was an unmarked car. Anyway. Never a dull moment. Anyway, as I was saying, in the Harajuku Daiso, they have woodcut tools. So with Daiso, everything is, if it doesn't have a price tag, is 100 yen plus tax, so essentially 110 yen. I didn't see them in any other one, and I wish I got them just to like try them out. But I did also get some of the more traditional calligraphy paintbrushes. I have no idea where they are. I hope they came home with me, but for this video I couldn't find them, but I got some of them. And I also got some washi tape. So I've got this one here, let me show you. The thing is like, okay, yeah, washi tape's cute, but I actually use it in my practice quite regularly to like measure things out, stick tabs on and stuff. So whenever I see a good deal on washi tape, I'm gonna go for it. So this one here is just some like cute little flowers, which sort of like fade in gradient. And then this one is a bit silly, but it's essentially foods. And it's basically like yakisoba, corn, candy apples and squid. And they've got like, here, I've got it upside down, but cute little squiddy. Anyway, again, 100 yen plus tax. Couldn't say no. Speaking of washi though, I did also get some more at the Print Museum, which I have already used. This is a bit like more thick and more substantial. It's just got this dude on it, which I was like, he's cool. I did also get 2 other little bits from the Printing Museum. So this is a card, but I thought it could be like quite fun to actually frame. What I did find really interesting, or not interesting as the case may be, in the Print Museum, there really wasn't that many prints, and the prints that there were, I just didn't think they were that inspiring. One thing I will tell you about the Print Museum is there they have the Guinness World Record book for the smallest ever printed book, and it's about the flowers of Japan, because they showed like a bigger version, and I'm like, that would be a fucking cool print, but they didn't have it. Anyway, and last but not least, I did also get some manga, which like isn't like my usual thing, but this I did get from the Print Museum. Hokusai manga. And what's interesting is like the pages are like doubled up. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but I just thought this was like super duper cute, really beautifully printed. I just think the tone and like the amount of ink is just really gorgeous. So this one is mainly about birds and foliage, which I thought was just like super cute. I love that it's like Japanese stab bound as well. Just thought I'd have to get it. Anyway, I have been speaking for 33 minutes. I thought this was going to be a quick little video. I thought incorrectly. Please subscribe if you'd like to see my video from the print museum. Also, let me just say, I am fully aware that Printer Solstice is around the corner. I think come December, the prompt list is going to be announced, and I want to go full in this year. So last year I remember it was colours based, which, listen, let's face it, we all know I love a good limited colour palette. Read red and black, essentially. Says the girl that just bought a whole selection of colours. Party. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and I really want to get it done, and also share the process too. So stay tuned for that one. Anyway, I hope you're having a fabulous November so far, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.